Hi, Gareth here, and what we're going to do is paint a fir tree, an easy fir tree, 4 times. So we're going to do that because it's important to practice so that when you do the final fir tree on your final painting, you don't muck it up, you don't mess it up. So what we do is, I've got my sheet of paper, watercolour paper, I'm using clips, and I'm having a line going down and a line going across, so we've got 4 squares. So I've got my Hake brush, 5/8 of an inch Hake brush, getting my phthalo blue paint, and here we go, water, paint, bit more water. Let's have a go. Basically, the easiest way to paint a fir tree is just to do a triangle like this. Then we've got a basic shape, the top, the bottom, and then using the tip, just do dabs like this. And then, using the tip, you want to come down in a zigzag pattern like that, and the same on the other side. And let's give it a shadow. So a little bit more water, dab on my kitchen roll, and here we go, a shadow. Keep it simple. Okay, let's do another one. So here we go. Make this one maybe a little bit taller and a little bit thinner. There we go. Then let's do the top. Just dabbing like that. And you can press down. So I'm making this one a little bit more irregular. And that one I think looks better. You can see it's just a little bit more irregular, and that's what makes fir trees difficult to paint, because there's of course they've got a certain symmetry, a certain pattern, but within that there's slight irregularities that if you don't paint them, you don't get such a good tree. You get a very I don't know what to call it, but I think you know what I mean. Just a tree that just looks not real. And let's have another go. Even though we've mastered it now, we've done a good tree, it's so important just to practice and mess up. Give yourself the chance to mess up. And we might even, just at the bottom here, just flick it and see what that's like. So that's a more difficult technique. It's a bit more difficult to control. It can more easily go wrong, but I just wanted to show that to you. And then again, our shadow. Let's make the shadow go this way, like that. So when you're practicing like this, it gives you the opportunity to mess up and not worry about it, because it's not the finished painting, and you really need that. Can you see how, as a beginner, it's very difficult to become good at painting if you're always doing a painting that's going to be a finished one, rather than just practicing on scrap paper. you're not going to paint with the same kind of expressiveness or boldness, and it's that boldness that will really make your paintings look good. And just try and make this look a bit more irregular. So each one you do, you can just try to make it a little different, to experiment a little bit. And there we go, that's the final one. Just do a shadow. And when you do these shadows, you can experiment a lot with them as well. So you can have the shadow going over here like that. So there we go. And just as an extra tip, another thing you can do is, yeah, you've experimented and that's good in itself, but you could also pretend you're doing a snow scene, and let's add a little bit of a shadow there in the snow, and shall we try and add some grass like this? And it might not work, but playing around like this is really, really useful. You can learn a lot, and if you're really lucky, it can lead to a very, very good painting, a new composition, a new idea. So it's a good thing to try. So just wanted to let you know about that. And there we go. Now your turn.